Florida at South Carolina. This is at 3:30 Eastern on the SEC Network. What are your initial thoughts going into this game?
So I mentioned it in the recap video, and I didn't mean to like slander you. That's not at all what I was meaning. But you mentioned that Kentucky could be one of the top teams in the East, with not necessarily looking Georgia, but 2 or 3. I don't know where I was going with that. But, oh yeah, I think South Carolina is actually ahead of Kentucky, and that's a shot that I know I'm going to get some heat on. But I seriously think, especially with this being in Williams-Brice, Columbia, South Carolina, that's always a great environment. As much as I hate South Carolina, they've got a great home field advantage. I'm not really impressed with Florida. My opinion on Florida is still not changed from the moment we lost, from the moment the season started. Graham Mertz is very accurate. I get that. But at the end of the day, I do expect South Carolina to get a big win right here. The line is actually South Carolina's favored in this game by 2.5. Now, what that's showing me is this is a pick'em game, and they're giving 3 points to South Carolina because it's at home. But I think that matters. I mean, playing on the road in the SEC accounts for something, and we've seen it firsthand all across the first 5-6 weeks of the season. Mm-hmm. I do like South Carolina in this game. I look for them to get a big win against Florida, which may look better than what it should because we gifted Florida a win they probably shouldn't have. But either way, I do think the Gamecocks pull this one out.
Yeah. So I do kind of agree with you in a way about your take with South Carolina there, because if you gave South Carolina Kentucky's schedule, I think it would have ended up the exact same way that Kentucky's did. So I'll give you that right there. But as it is, the way that the season went with South Carolina's schedule, they haven't looked as good as Kentucky, especially the way that Kentucky looked against Florida. Because if you just take that game alone,
yeah,
Kentucky did look like a top team in the SEC East. But obviously, we saw what happened against Georgia yesterday. I'm with you in this game.